Good evening. Welcome to the Monday, December 11th, 2023 public board meeting of the Kingston City Land Bank. My name is Mike. I serve as the executive director. And with that, I turn it over to our unfortunately outgoing board chair, Mr. Daniel Cantor.
Hello and welcome everybody to our last board meeting of this beautiful year we've had. Let's do a roll call real fast. Counselor Board Chair.
Project Stradine, board member. Eric Joel, treasurer. Nate Hennigan, vice chair.
Joanna Norman, board. Rebecca Holderness, board member.
Beautiful job. Can we vote to accept prior meeting minutes as uploaded to YouTube?
Motion to accept prior meeting minutes as uploaded to YouTube.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Great job. Can we vote to approve the meeting agenda that Michael put together for us?
Move to approve the meeting agenda.
Second.
All in favor? Motion passes unanimously. Thank you. All right, I'm gonna skip to chair and we'll slot in the elections. That's all. Real quick, just because it's been only 2 weeks since our last meeting. But some exciting stuff happened. So the first being that our totes, we have totes, our first.
Can we see it?
Right here. Here are our totes.
Oh, my goodness. Totally cute.
Super cute.
Interesting.
So a huge thank you to Joanna for taking the lead on this. This is like a 3-year long. We're gonna have merch.
You wanted the tote since I met you.
Sorry.
No kidding. Years later.
Just fine. So thank you to Joanna, thank you to Katie Fire Designs for our beautiful logo. I just started my big announcements, the first of which is we have tote bags.
Somebody sitting there?
Take this chair. It's better.
No.
It's gonna swap.
I'll never be late again. I'll never be late again.
Everybody swap chairs before you shoot
I think the big one's uncomfortable. We just gotta leave them aside.
I got cushion. I got cushion. She put up his side.
Yeah, exactly.
In addition, we will have these totes available for sale of limited run.
They will be showing up on Friday for our holiday event.
Some totes will be available for our holiday event, which will segue to our holiday event on the 15th at 124 Franklin, 5 to 7-ish.
That's what I wanted to know.
It's very fun. So it's gonna be a fun time. Everybody is welcome, of course. In addition, also on the merch track, we have T-shirts currently for sale. I'm not totally sure I understand this. We have a campaign that is open for a few days.
Not one shirt has sold, because
Right.
nobody knows about it.
We did a soft launch.
Soft launch.
No, I think we can extend.
So the way Bonfire works is there are campaigns that last for 2 weeks. I assume we can renew it, but as of now, it has not been advertised, so nobody knows that this campaign exists. I would love to see a link
Let's
on
pay,
Instagram.
yeah, let's pay and extend it and I'll.
No, we don't have to pay to extend it. Hopefully we can just renew
I
it.
think so.
I'm hoping, but hopefully we don't have to redo it.
It was just circulated. I'll get it up on Instagram tomorrow. Not if data doesn't go for me.
One.
Is it 2 days? No, it's just there, so it's good. It was just funny that I was like, on the couch, it's like, 0 sales, would you like to advertise?
We're gonna figure it out. Next year's gonna be gangbusters. for merch.
Well, my family's good.
Everyone who thinks they will have a shirt. That they. Okay, we are in contract and we are 111 Down Street.
Yay.
Nice.
Well, we have a contract in the board packet
We have a contract in the board package
that's partially executed.
that's partially executed. Which the board will be approved.
Yes.
We'll talk about that in a bit. But that seems to be moving along and we expect we can close by the end of the year and very exciting. In addition, our website, we are in the like final stages with our designer, Katie Meyer. Thank you to Mike and Nathan and everybody else involved for keeping that track and active. Yeah, so can't wait to see it. Very exciting. We're planning a bunch.
This year
Yeah,
is still the goal.
but
A lot of things happening maybe this
listen, if it's not this year, early next, then either way, very exciting. And then I think lastly, me and myself and Stacy and Kyle had the pleasure of attending the Excellence in Historic Preservation Awards from the Preservation League of New York State last week, where we were a recipient of a statewide recognition for our organization.
This photo.
Where's the photos?
Yeah, who's got, was it on your?
Yeah, posted a photo on the website.
Post all about it.
I texted her.
Yeah.
Here's
Beautiful.
shimmery and gold.
So you had an office, you could hang it in there.
I just got kind of proud of
Just like a rogue.
Yeah, we'll leave it somewhere. But it was very cool, so we, thank you to the Preservation League and, our supporters for.
Probably wanted to get a logo from them and put the award on the website
Yeah. It's,
somewhere.
yeah,
It's a good idea.
yeah,
Makes sense. Going on the poster.
put it on the post-it. And I think that's it for me. We have no members of the public, so we skip that, and I think we might as well do the vote. So typically, our annual meeting is in January. This made very little sense for an outgoing officer, and so doing what we're doing is the annual election that we normally do in January, we're doing right now. I will serve out through the end of the year as board chair. The newly elected chair will begin January 1st, 2024, and good luck. So
How long is the term?
the term is 1 year.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so board terms are 3 years. Officer positions.
It said 6 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
6 years. Oh, so that means you don't have to leave.
Did you guys see it?
Oh, false alarm. What? 6 years.
Oh, sorry.
Wow, interesting.
How could you be a, oh, no, never mind.
Well, that is not consistent with our bylaws.
Okay.
It-
That's good to know.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's something we should put in our
We'll
governance.
touch base with Roy.
I missed what happened.
So our board terms are 3 years and you can serve a total of 2.
Correct.
So, but Joanna and Ethel are saying that their letters say that they're 6-year terms, so they're just,
I believe I looked at them today and it said 3-year
Oh,
term
no.
until 2026.
Is that 6 years? Is that a 6-year?
Someone- I'm sorry, let me pull it up.
well, we'll figure it out.
Yeah. That's from the mayor.
The thing is, you can leave whenever you want, but don't try to not to. So yes, officer positions are 1 year, of course. People have resigned and moved around, there are no consequences for volunteers, you can't get fired, it's pretty great. we're gonna do these one by one. And we're gonna start with chair. We have received email correspondence from both me and Erin, who are both supporting each other and running against each other, which I guess the spirit of collaboration warms my heart. So, I don't know, would you like to say anything? Are there other members who wish to be nominated?
It's been a while since we've done this, so I think people, they sent their statements out, and so it was that was the forum to do that, and now we just vote. If everyone's okay with that, that seems less weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless
I
I'm
should
saying.
recuse myself from the selection,
Okay.
because I don't know you guys. I'm not making an informed decision. So that's okay with you, I prefer to do that.
Whatever you're comfortable with.
Does that make you more comfortable?
Okay.
You're gonna start calling me Rebecca recused.
Now,
Yeah.
I think that is a respectful and fair opinion. So,
But I promise to vote on any subsequent elections with vigor.
okay. But to be fair, are you recusing from all officer?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
That didn't sound.
okay, great. So with that, I'm gonna pass out sticky notes. We're gonna do chair first, so just write your selection and pass it to Mike.
Put it in
Mike
the
can stay, Mike will put it in the.
I will run around, so I'm happy to do that. Because they're secret ballots, so that's why we're doing it.
Take that one.
That's so interesting.
Take that one.
I'm serious.
I have.
If I could, Daniel, I think we clarified one other thing, is that we're gonna have a vote, and then if someone who ran for a position was not successful, they will then be allowed to go for the next position.
That's why we're doing them one by one. So, first,
Thank you.
so first, we are just voting for 2024 board chair. Okay.
Does Daniel get to vote?
Yeah.
Wait, what was the other
What happens if
clarification?
it's-
That if somebody doesn't win, we can vote.
So, all we need is one.
You want to, you still, okay, you're the holdout, got it.
Where did you go? No, I said.
Thank you for being.
Yeah. It's so great. Moment today.
Oh, it's my involvement.
Verify that I'm not stepping in ballot in any way, shape, or form.
Love to.
Thank you very much. Okay, so here's what I think I'll do. I think I'll open them and I'll read it as I go. So,
Really?
Callie.
Well, isn't that how they do it on TV?
Not high.
Okay.
Just nervous.
Yeah, right.
Were you?
Okay, I'll just count. I won't make it.
Were you without? Did you have to? Why can't I see? Were you unopposed?
Oh, wow. You never.
Okay.
When you send the photos, they're right on the website.
Yeah,
But I didn't hear this.
yeah, left.
That's so great. Oh,
That's on the
that
website.
has to go.
It's
That's
not
on our.
for three of us.
It's on New York City.
So we have a tie.
I knew that was going up, I knew it.
Oh,
Did you give remarks or anything like that? Thank your
We have a
mom or
time.
your dad
Oh,
or.
we
I think you actually get the.
We actually have it on the.
As a rule,
Gave remarks.
deals with all my bad
Because we have
ideas.
a.
Yeah, they'll tell me what their top three agenda.
Oversees the board meeting.
It says it in the email.
Runs the board.
I seem like it's not funny,
But I
so.
think
So-
that would that be a good idea?
Whatever you want, basically.
My-
I can talk to you.
Okay, so we have a tie.
Who's the tiebreaker? Was
Viable options include, I think, staff or a recused board member.
Exactly.
But no, but it's possible. If we wanna-
I'm actually really
There's
uncomfortable
seven.
with the public nature of this vote and my lack of knowledge and I.
That's totally okay.
I'm
I
sorry.
don't want to push you to. So let's do that.
They wanted to be able to.
Well, we could vote again.
What do our bylaws allow? Does it say?
There.
It does, I believe it just says annual election shall.
Is there a
Alright, so
co-chairman?
it doesn't-
Yeah, that's great. How about a co-chairman position?
There could be, the problem I think is that we do have 4 officer positions, so that means 5 board members are officers and there's only 6 of
You're completely off the board?
Yeah. So, okay. I think,
Do you want us to leave the room while you guys talk about how to handle this?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It's also public. So
Oh, yeah, are we still
You could-
recording?
you could, yes. You
Well,
just watch.
we're
it.
leaving
It's
it
okay.
on.
I feel like it was a,
I would move to go into
it was a
executive
public
summary,
vote.
or executive committee or whatever it is.
Well,
I
it's
don't-
public.
I'll pause it now, how about that?
Okay.
Because they're walking out of the room, so can you vote to go to executive session?
yeah, I'll make a motion to,
Or
you make
second.
a
Motion to go to executive.
I second.
all in favor, go ahead, okay. For the purpose.
I'll say that again, or you say, so it's on like the record.
You say.
Okay.
I don't want to say.
We have voted, and Nate Hennigan is the board chair of the Kingston City Land Bank effective January 1st, 2024.
Sound a little more excited. She's thrilled.
It's going on YouTube.
And it's gonna be awesome and great.
It will be. Okay, vice chair. Would anybody like to nominate themselves or another member of the board for this position?
I'd like to nominate Erin.
I second. Okay, so we have 1 nominee. Anybody else interested? I'm done. I feel. I believe we vote anyway.
Sure, I
'cause
think so.
I can't just.
Oh.
I think for the formality, I don't know.
Why?
Because what if I just sign the vote for my.
This way, I moved it if it was necessary. that someone's-
Very smart.
I'll second that.
We're doing a procedural thing.
Mike,
I'm so sorry. What?
I am moving that we do not, if it is unopposed, we do not need to take a vote. So that's my moving that we do that.
Or
In
private
this
vote.
case.
It dispense with secret ballots.
Yeah, we don't need to.
Second.
All in favor of not running a secret ballot vote for an uncontested election?
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
It is
What a good
wonderful to
team
see
we
you
have.
back in the role. Great work, everybody. Okay, now, treasurer. The most coveted historically role in the campaign. Certainly the most
Does it go
prestigious.
treasurer next or secretary next?
I don't know.
I think it was secretary treasurer is what we said, but
Fine. Secretary. The other most coveted. We have had one and only secretary in this organization for 5 years. He has performed admirably. I'm not sure if he has significantly to perform admirably. Would anybody like to be secretary? It's not as hard of a job as it used to be now that there's.
I'm fine with it.
leadership. well with that.
Nominate Bartek to continue to be secretary.
Now it feels a lot more just like.
Seeing as Bartek is uncontested, I will entertain a motion to not do a secret ballot.
I don't know.
Motion to not do secret ballot.
No, he said he does mine.
All in favor of not doing a secret ballot vote, but also electing Bartek as next year's treasurer.
Secretary.
Secretary, I said.
I'm really confused.
Congratulations.
But, congratulations, Mr. Secretary.
Hopefully Bob isn't watching this.
Bob is so mad I speak out.
Is it appropriate for me to ask you to outline what are the roles of the treasurer?
Sure, it would probably be better for a former treasurer to. So,
I think both of us are done.
Yeah.
Yeah, essentially, it's for those committee meetings, fill in the gaps, but for for the treasury and audit committee meetings, we go over the financial statements for each month. With Stacy, she explains kind of high level what we're looking at, and we ask questions of them, so that you understand kind of what's occurring financially in a given month, we can explain it here. On the audits, it was really just, we didn't do that much, it was mostly just like read over like the statements that
Yeah.
the auditor produced, your questions for it.
You know, honestly, Stacy does a lot of work.
Yeah.
So it's like mostly just oversight of the financial reports. That the treasurer has historically de facto been the chair of the finance committee, and the audit committee. Doesn't necessarily have to happen that way, but it's just kind of always worked out that way.
Joanna, were you on that committee? Finance committee? No. I mean, no. And you're not a board member? You're a paid employee.
no,
not anymore.
Oh, really?
They're all employees now.
Well, I knew everybody. I thought it was a years. Stay correct.
I got under the wire decision.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
Um,
Also, you guys, you worked on the investment policy?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
we moved investment policy, for, good funds. The other thing I will say is that you join the executive committee meetings,
Mhm.
which I think, I is an interesting way to, I think, especially for a new board member to kind of also, take a deeper dive, put it that way.
Yeah.
Into what's going on.
The reason I'm asking you is that I have a particular idea that Mike and I have been working on about a contribution through my boardship. However, I am interested in how funding comes to this organization and how it is distributed. So that might be a good place for me to learn that, unless either of you guys wants to arm wrestle. But I could volunteer to be the treasurer, as long as there's not a lot of bookkeeping or writing or anything like that attached to it.
Stacy really does most of the work.
If you need me to, but that will mean, Mike, that the only committee I do will be the one that we've been working on. Does that work with you from a leadership point of view?
When you say the only committee is the one that we've been working on, I thought that might fall under comms.
Comms, right, yeah,
Oh, sure.
yeah, so I would work with the treasury, with the finance committee, and then with the comms. Okay, we're not being secretive or anything, I'm supporting Mike, right, Mike?
Yeah, I have a whole little presentation.
Okay.
spiel. Thank
Okay.
you so much for working
And
with me.
and part of what I asked Mike when I joined the board was a moment to get to know the organization, and to find out where my skills best fit, and also where is it most productive for me to learn something, so that both of those things can happen together. And this would be a place that I feel like I could learn something, but and I'm doing professional contract management right now, so I also feel like, and I'm interested in municipal funding, state funding, how does that go with fundraising and things like that. So maybe it's a good place for me. Does that make sense? to
sounds
you?
like a great place. Right? Sounds like it couldn't be a better.
That sounded like a great position, Steve.
Yeah, that's it. I'm just not sure I'm gonna do it very well, so
You're
if I'm
gonna do-
allowed to fail.
You're gonna do great. You're gonna, I have no doubt. you're
We
gonna
have
do
never
great.
had a treasurer who had a particular financial background or really any qualifications, but they have stumbled through it and done well, and you will excel, I'm positive.
Okay, well, then I volunteer to be elected or whatever is the process.
I think the last time I was just like, you're doing it. So thank you for
Sure.
making that much easier. Would anybody else be interested in? With that, I will entertain a motion to not do a secret ballot and elect Rebecca as our 2024 treasurer.
Second.
Motion to not do a secret
Oh,
ballot and
sorry,
elect
interesting.
Rebecca as our 2024 treasurer.
All in favor?
Do I get a hat?
You get one of those little
Get a show
visors.
badge.
Just like a green
Congrats.
visor and some arm things.
Yeah, exactly.
Get to learn the secret treasurer handshakes. Great.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Just
So-
for the record. It does say 3 years. Just for the record, it does say 3 years.
It does, yeah, no, I did look it up. Yeah.
Looks like 6.
Okay, I had to sleep in my car.
That's the spirit.
Only the rest of your life.
It's like a jail sentence.
Okay, we did
We
it.
did it, great.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you to our new officers and old officers for stepping up, and you're gonna do great. Everyone's gonna do great. Thank you. Okay, cool. Mike, do you have some announcements?
I do.
Reports?
So I'm not one for giving speeches, but I will try. The joy of building something together, with someone you trust and admire, is an experience that is rare, important, and truly wonderful. Daniel, between your eternal, insightful, patient optimism, my completely opposite outlook, we have managed to create from whole cloth something unique and solid. Daniel, under your leadership, 8 properties in our wonderful city have been saved from an uncertain future and returned to productive use. 6 families now have inspiring places to call home for generations because of your vision. And soon 3 more households will know the same. And these buildings are not just places for them to live and grow, they will do so with pride. Because someone, somewhere, cared more than they will ever know about how they live. Daniel, thank you for your diligence, persistence, and grace to build the Kingston City Land Bank. Our work will continue, it will be amazing, and it will probably still be scrappy, but it will not be the same, and it would not be possible without your efforts. Thank you.
Bravo.
For all of us, we got to a little something.
Yeah.
Look at Owen's climbing up there.
Oh, it's thanks, Kyle. So this was Nate's idea, I think, thought it was somewhat appropriate or suggested it.
Somebody else.
Yes. It's in great.
It's very small letters. Sorry, I didn't know it was going to be that small.
So you have
Let's
one,
do it.
Where has it been for the past?
I was gonna say.
Well, Nate brought one a couple times and I was.
and I was told to not give you one.
Like,
Oh, go on, do it. Do it.
Come on, let's do it.
Oh,
thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
I had 2 other things if I could. So 2 other things. We have local holiday events coming up.
Incredible.
Every time I meet with you beyond this, you're going to bring that. Every meeting.
Now I have to smack you across the face.
That engraving would be, that would be the only thing backwards on my face. I probably deserve it. 2 quick things, local holiday events. The American Planning Association is having a meeting on Tuesday for a holiday event. So if anyone wants to go there, it's at Senate House, I think at 5 or 6 p.m. This is Kevin Corte, who was previously with the city, now has his own private consulting firm, and he invited anyone who wants to go, he can give us free tickets. I'm just saying what I was told. So that's an option. Second is also the Kingston Land Trust holiday party, also at the Center Garage. The following night on Wednesday, I believe Stacy and I are going. I was going to buy. It is. I'm going to buy tickets tomorrow if people are interested. If you want to go, I think it's 6 p.m. on Wednesday. So that was.
And what is it? Sorry.
Oh, the Kingston Land Trust holiday. Party.
Oh.
Yeah. The one that we're confused for all the time, so we might as well go. We should wear shirts that say not the KLT.
It's also in the Senate.
It is,
Yeah.
yeah, they're both at the Senate House. Popular place, I guess.
Some of the, yeah, this Wednesday,
It is, it is.
if it is appropriate, I will go.
Cool, okay. Anybody else? Nothing?
Then I don't have to go to the real estate event.
Let me check, I believe it's 6.
It's at 6.
I believe it's 6. It might be,
That was
I have it on my
my
calendar for 5.
I have it on my calendar.
Okay, so it's at 5. No,
What time is it?
I believe it starts at 5.
5 a.m.
So Rebecca's coming. Anybody else? Or just email me after the meeting.
Yeah, we're gonna co-op
Yeah,
something.
Be great if anybody can make it. Can represent.
And we're a really big sign that says, I'm from the land bank. Like, really?
They invited us for the KLT. I think it's only $25.
I thought it was like $100.
No, that's.
There's like a nonprofit partnership. I didn't really look at it.
Oh,
I didn't know I was going until Stacy decided she would go with me, and now I have.
It's money, honey, and it's too much money, honey, then I don't need to go. You know?
No, I think it's a good way for us to
Okay,
go out and meet people.
I don't got nothing to worry about.
The last thing I wanted to mention.
Is it just, is it?
It's the KLT. So just try to wear. It's not a.
Don't do
It's
it.
not a dress.
I'm a disco girl.
Nothing
Do
to
it.
wear.
Like
You want
it's
us to set the tone, we'll try to get dressed.
Do you want to get dressed?
It's the Senate.
so sweet.
I'm gonna sue, don't let me.
What you said?
Just.
I said, don't let me just.
So let me-
not.
So what are you wearing?
Again,
I'm not worried about it, because I don't have one.
a dress.
Now I'm really excited.
What are we wearing?
Okay.
Guys, we have a meeting.
We do still
Sephora?
have a meeting.
Maybe Gala.
Oh, God. the KLT.
Don't make me
Perfect
go.
That makes sense.
Okay, the last thing I wanted to mention is I would like to thank Rebecca for helping me get to this point in my presentation of an idea that she has helped to bring forth with her experience and ideas around this. I'd like to invite you to a mandatory team retreat. So what that looks like is still,
2 words,
Yeah.
invite to mandatory.
it's, I'm trying my best, but so the goals here are basically to align and to look to the future of where we're all at and communicate a little bit more outside of this room, outside of this meeting. The goal is also to kind of give back to you as board members and say, like, here's some information on what the heck it is that those of us who are paid by the land bank do. And here's how the land bank is structured, and here's how it could be structured, or how should it be structured, or what should we be doing? You know, kind of throw out big ideas, but also I think just give back a little bit more understanding of what the heck it is that we do, because I think that it's just something we could do better on. So it's new year, we could try doing that. You don't have to plan anything. So you just show up. You will be provided with food and wine. So we might start at lunch, probably not drinking at lunch. We'll have a presentation that will go through that I'll be kind of leading. Some breakout sessions, I assume, will take place. It's not going to be overly painful, but the goal is to like really come away with some concrete kind of working items or goals or tasks or things that we all agree upon about how we talk internally about the work that we do to each other and how we understand how all the different stuff works, and then hopefully growing into an external communication to go out into the community and say, like, we know who we are, we know what we do, and I think empowering everyone with that is one of my goals. So lunch, dinner, maybe a hotel. Maybe we stay over. I don't know if that gets weird, but we certainly could try it. I will send a doodle poll within 24 hours to try to book some times. And we're looking for a venue. I'm looking for a venue, so open to suggestions. If there had been a suggestion, yeah.
I have a suggestion, but we discussed in governance this idea of like a board retreat situation.
Yeah.
Would it make sense to sort of combine these two events? Or,
I think so.
sort of make it more
And this would be
fleshed
everyone.
out?
It would be all Kyle and Owen and Stacy and myself.
So if we were to have a retreat and then that would be a portion of it, I think that would be great too.
Okay.
But I don't know how
Okay,
people
yeah.
feel about that.
Yeah, sure.
So what the combination would be, which one?
Well, so then I guess you mentioned that we wouldn't have to do anything, but if we did have a board retreat, it would be, we would bring it to the board as to what to do, right? I imagine, or do we just find that in governance?
I mean, this could be the board, we could
This could
consider
be
this to be. a
Okay.
retreat, Unless there was other things that we wanted to do.
Yeah, like
That's
trust
fine.
falls.
I would think it would, in terms of collective consciousness, it might be most, unless there's a substantive reason not to combine them. And to do one like in the morning and one in the afternoon and into the evening or something like that, unless that is not the way people's time works, because I don't know how that works. Because what I'm not understanding is that you're talking about a board retreat in relationship to governance specifically.
No, I brought it up in our governance meeting as something to do as far as, board, but I'm thinking.
Just mean incorporating more like.
Yes,
Like getting to know each other things versus like breakout, more like having.
yeah, there's a
substantive
social aspect to it as
sessions.
well than just a presentation.
Yeah.
But, and more, yeah, like team board.
Yeah, I mean, I think that that's what we're talking about. I'm trying to figure out what is the difference between, do you understand what the difference is?
I didn't know about the board retreat planning specifically, I don't think, or we hadn't
We
really.
touched on it,
I think
you said there are funds for that. and
There
that's
are.
something yeah.
There are, for sure.
Because I think we're talking about the same thing. And one of the things that you did say, Mike, that might be useful is to start a questionnaire about what would we like to talk about?
Sure.
And what kind of things would, what are our ideas overall, and to include all of the employees as well with that, so that it's not a group chat, do you know what I mean? Like, not like that, but like,
Sure.
articulate 3 questions or something that we can answer, and then you can collate those, and that will give us a direction. And certainly, I absolutely think we're not doing enough socializing or drinking and eating, so I think we need to do some drinking of tea, of course, that's what I mean. But, that there needs to be some bonding, so, yeah, as well.
Yes, and I don't know if it's possible, but in my imagining, I would think that would be an overnight situation, but I
Oh, yeah.
don't know what people
Yeah.
feel about that.
Yeah,
And it might be impossible
Sure.
for some people to do that.
so
If it works
not
for
unlike
you.
the landing, did you guys go to a sort of retreat about something?
Lake.
Yeah, George,
that was
I
great.
recommend staying over because it did allow for that little
A lot of
aspect.
conversations in the hallway, a lot of meeting, a lot of talking. I think part of, yeah, it was, it's a great example.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that'd be awesome. I totally would exploring that idea.
Cool. One of the broader, bigger picture things for this organization is obviously Third Avenue. And, our relationship to the community, our community knowing what we're doing and why we're doing it is part of that. But it shouldn't be the first thing that I think we focus on. I think we should focus internally and then try to build out from that, and kind of get to the plan for what that could look like and the timelines. All that stuff. That was it. Thank you.
Well, my almost through the roof.
We're talking about the same thing like.
Okay.
And I suggested
We'll
that I
see.
want
We'll
to
see.
go to.
Just pop out some.
We'll see. With the gap.
An honorary position of the
We'll see.
chairman that's going out.
Emeritus.
Yes. Next year.
Be everywhere.
Not calling, That concludes.
That concludes. our
Okay.
remarks. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Another thing that's been a big conversation for years, but it's. Okay. Acquisition, disposition, construction.
I mean, but I'm gonna pass it along off to Owen, for the construction updates.
Hi, everybody.
Hey.
So we have not had a new requisition walkthrough since our last board meeting. So I'm not going to pull up new reports, PDF reports, but I got a couple of relevant updates. The agenda says updates on Legacy City 1 and Legacy Cities 2, but we also the pilot program marches on. So we Frank 124 Franklin Street, which is their 5 out of 5 houses in the pilot program, has had its final inspection and passed it. We don't have a C of O yet, but that's expected shortly. The contract substantial completion date is January 15th, 2024. So that house is well ahead of schedule. And I think you're all going to be able to see it on Friday. Legacy Cities 1, our third out of 4 houses, 169 Hurley Avenue has a C of O now. As of this past week, and we're awaiting the completion of the punch list there. And 29 Rogers, the last house to wrap up, is moving along. Sheetrock is done and exterior details are getting wrapped up. We're still roughly shooting for a 1/23/24 substantial completion date. For those of you who haven't seen the house in a while, I'll just briefly share the screen if that's all right. So this is what the exterior is looking like. And now after a long time of not looking pretty, just like a gutted house, now we got some sheetrock and spray foam on the inside. So that's big leap forward there. What else? We're anticipating that we're gonna exhaust that house's contingency, but not the whole Legacy 1 project contingency in aggregate. And finally, Legacy 2, we have 6 houses that we're prepping construction for. Our second electrical service RFP completed this week or this past week. Kyle and Mike have been working on getting Land Bank Initiative money approved for capital improvements on these projects, on these properties. So that's going to open us up to moving forward on more permanent work on the properties, and still shooting for completed construction documents on all 6 properties by the end of January. That's my report. Any questions?
Yeah, oh, what else is, like, what other open items are there on those construction documents between now and January?
Like what needs to be completed in the construction documents?
Yeah,
So right now we're like we just got the first glimpse at structural. So we got to provide comments back to them about structural, and then they're I would say like 85% on selections and finishes, but none of that is incorporated into the construction documents. So right now it like shows floor plans and some elevations, but they need to incorporate some of the selections that have been passed on into the construction documents and check for any conflicts. Yeah, so I think it's like, I mean, the floor plans are completed essentially, and it's really fleshing out selections and making sure that the construction documents represent the full scope of what we're looking to have done to those houses.
oh,
Is the thinking, maybe this is well, is the thinking to, at this point, to try to like bid out to GCs early in the new year, like February kind of thing?
Maybe end of January.
End of
right?
January? Would it be one GC, one general contractor for all 6 or 2?
We've been talking about that.
Okay.
Seems
So-
uncertain.
Sorry, let me go.
No, I guess I would just say yes. It's been a matter of discussion, and I think it is something that's an important, timely decision that we have to make. And I think probably better to chew into it in the ADC committee and go from there is my assumption. But
Just to maybe add to that one, because we won't meet for a few weeks and it'll be right around the time where we might be ready to issue the RFP.
we don't meet on Friday.
I'm sorry,
We don't, ADC doesn't meet on Friday.
this Friday? Yes, see you on Friday. We should talk about it then.
Okay.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
I think this is for Third Avenue updates, if you have anything. I think last time you were waiting to hear back from the engineer, right?
Yeah, so not a ton of updates here, but we have heard back with some initial feedback from the engineer. We're continuing to work with the engineer and the architectural consultants on this. I just met with them today. Basically, the site faces pretty significant challenges with stormwater management, but we think it's an opportunity to kind of solve a neighborhood-wide issue and create an attractive amenity at the site. We're also working exploring some denser development options that allow us to deliver more units in the space that we can work with. Yeah, so we think that's a pretty good opportunity to represent the potential of the new zoning code, both from like the housing and the placemaking perspective. But not a ton to report back on at this moment. Hope to report back to the ADC and board meeting with more concrete development options after we meet with both consultants in the next couple of weeks. But happy to answer any questions anyone has.
Can I just pull
Anytime.
out and translate to my own understanding so that the significant challenges to the stormwater situation is we're gonna have to fix this, so we're gonna need money to do it? Yep.
Yes, but it's not beyond what we had anticipated for the project. It's just more a matter of kind of shuffling around the site than finding new funds for the site.
And does paying for that impact other things that we might want to do there?
No, I don't think so at this point, Rebecca. Kyle, unless you disagree, I think the numbers that we're looking at for a stormwater management system are pretty able to be absorbed by the site. The real question is, where can we build on the site, given its prior usage and the topography? And so that's really what we're trying to figure out, not so much the cost of it.
What's my treasurer?
Got it.
Because is there discrete funding available or something, down the road to
Well-
for water management or for water remediation in Kingston, whatever?
The city has not elected to prioritize this neighborhood for upgrades to the sewer system, which would break out the storm and sanitary, which would be a type of an upgrade that would definitely benefit this site. We have mentioned that we have the opportunity to apply for the Mid-Hudson Momentum Funds, for which a minimum award is $2.5 million, and some of the uses can be site infrastructure. So all that to say, we've identified a source of funding that could pay for it, that definitely pay for more than what we need right now. As far as the infrastructure costs, we're trying to sort of narrow down what the options are. We're not making any decisions on what the development will look like, what the density will look like. Certainly not anything even broad than that. We're just trying now to come back to you with, this is how we got here, and this is what, these are the options that we believe are all feasible. And so let's talk it out. But when we started originally, we had a presentation by the architecture firm, and it was this gigantic, it looks very different now, only because we've been exploring the storm.
So also translating again, so with my green voter.
Sure. Yeah.
So we are continuing to hold the potential for that $2 million plus grant, or as a, maybe we could help with this?
It's a very big maybe. It's a kind of a funky funding source from what I've heard. I from others, it's a minimum of $2.5 million. It requires some commercial space to be on the site. So the threshold is 4,000 square feet of commercial. It then pays for something called a commercial space, which we haven't been able to get a strict definition of what commercial space actually means. So that needs to be determined. EDC administers this, and they've been more than vague about it, in my opinion. And so the next opportunity, Economic Development Corporation of the state of New York, sorry. I'll learn, one day I'll learn. They have the next round of funding is at the end of January, the next opportunity to apply for funds. And so our hope is to get back from the civil engineer and from everyone, from the architecture and planning team, what the options are, and at least settle on something with you to bring to EDC and say, this is what we're proposing. This is what we need. This is what we're proposing. It has to be a shovel-ready site. I think, Kyle, within 2 years, it has to break ground and be built within 5 is one of the other qualifications.
Wow.
Something like that. It's, you have to be there, but you don't have to be there. What you're doing.
So what, I would like to read read the application. Or
The- Oh,
the
sure.
queue or whatever we call the shenanigans, yeah.
You mean the, when we get ready to apply?
No,
I think there's some information, I think,
Oh.
you had circulated stuff about the grant,
it's a grant, right? That's what the word
yeah,
we use
right.
is.
yeah,
It's a
yeah,
grant.
to government grant, with Hudson, what's the word? Momentum.
Momentum.
Because the reason I say that, because in the discussions that we've had, Mike and I've had, in my understanding, which is very minimal, of the Third Avenue project, there may be other things that we could do with the money to support the neighborhood. I thought there was, so I don't know whether it fits with the plans or it doesn't, because I don't know well enough, but I would like to familiarize myself with the process, because more money is better than less money.
That's
I'm on the committee.
You're a great treasurer.
You know, so if it's somewhere we could draw money and also maybe do good for the water infrastructure of Kingston somewhere. that would be great.
I'll circulate the website for the state's website for the fund, which has all the eligibility applications on the website.
Okay.
They can take a look.
I think it might also be worth mentioning here. This isn't something like out of the blue. It's something we had thought about since the beginning of the project as a possibility. So it's not like, I don't think we need to draw complete new funds for this. It's something that was considered in the original budgeting as well.
Okay, yeah. I'll read it. I mean, there may be other reasons about the role of the Kingston City Land Bank in Kingston and other things like that that might make applying for the grant useful. In terms of our communication goals, long-term. So, and maybe not, I don't know, but
Yeah.
that's why I'm asking and that's why I'd like to do it.
Totally. I think the challenges with commercial space are really the linchpin for if it's, I don't really feel like a supermarket works really well in that neighborhood, in that location.
Is
But
there a supermarket there?
no, there's a deli on Delaware Avenue that is a small, local, walkable
So
thing.
why, then I would challenge why would a supermarket be a bad idea?
I think, well, we should explore. I'll just say that. I think we need to explore what the uses are for commercial, if we put it there.
I mean,
Correct me if I'm wrong, but part of the issue is that the area is like, it's just not very dense, so it's pretty, it's spread out.
It's a pass-through area. It's not really a stopping. There used to be a restaurant.
Yeah.
And that at one point for the neighborhood, my understanding was a walkable amenity for the neighborhood. And now if you're driving that direction down the avenues, as they call them, down Second Avenue, you're heading up to Ulster, Home Depot. It's like a pass-through
Yeah.
location, but the faster way to do it is to go on Delaware Avenue and take the highway.
Yeah.
So
people live there.
people do live
there.
there, absolutely.
People don't have a
Big
restaurant
community. So
or a restaurant or a variety of things that might be nice for them to have, right?
yeah,
So commercial's not necessarily bad,
I don't think it's bad.
especially if you're gonna increase the density. So, that's why it might be worth talking.
Absolutely.
In my opinion, Kyle, sorry if I interrupted you.
Sorry if I interrupted you.
All right, so that's Third Avenue. The next thing for discussion, is the contract of sale for Downs. So this is, contract of sale based on the vote that you all took at the last board meeting, which I was not at. But I think it was a great decision and I'm excited.
Do I need to stick my fingers in here?
And the contract that I included in the board book, in the board package is essentially reflects, everything that was discussed. Is there anything new or noteworthy about it? I've not read the whole contract.
Nothing new or noteworthy in the contract, other than to say that the down payment of 10% was just funded, it was a check, so it had to clear today in our attorney's account. So that money is received. And the timeline for when we might close, I think should be noted, is still kind of unclear a little bit. In the proposal, they said that they would close this year and that they would start construction in January. We're now December 11th, so they would have to run a survey and title and possibly have some other, due diligence requests, just like we do when we buy a property. So I'd like to say, I don't know when it's closing, but if we enter into contract, it will close sooner than if we don't enter into a contract.
They might also not do all of the, I mean, I assume they put title, but if they're buying it cash, they don't need to do a survey.
That's true. I hope they close sooner rather than later. I sure hope so.
Since none of this was, I feel I should state for public, whatever, that the contract is with a local young family who wishes to restore and occupy this home as their primary residence and forever home, so for whatever that's worth. We received bids from out of the area, we received bids from in the area, we received bids from flippers and developers and wannabe landlords. This is everything.
So today we need to authorize Mike to enter into contract with the people we take at the last board meeting. So can I entertain a motion to authorize Mike to enter into contract on 111 Downs? Please.
I'll make that motion. To authorize not failure to enter into contract on the sale of 111 Downs, pursuant to the board's decision on awarding that contract.
All in favor? Unanimous.
Thank you.
We'll be in contract shortly. And then the last item is that it was raised, I can't remember when it first came out, it might have been 2 board meetings ago, or it might have been just virtually, that the disposition policy might be slightly out of date or have some aspects of it that are a little bit anachronistic based on kind of old projections of how the land bank might function, but we don't really function that way. Mike started the conversation off, and Owen and Mike got into a lively conversation about what the state's land bank law says and how it pertains to our disposition policy. Needless to say, I haven't actually gotten to this on my personal to-do list, but we will take another look at that policy. If anybody outside of the ADC committee would like to also review it, I'm happy to circulate. The existing policy is on our thing, but you're welcome to take a look at my comments, and I'm sure that'll be a topic. And then over the next couple of meetings. And with that, we move on to finance, where we actually don't have new statements because we just met 2 weeks ago as a board. So I don't know if there's anything, Stacy, that you want to update us on.
I just wanted, I wanted to update that we got Novo funds in on the 1st of December.
Great. Sure.
We received our grant for operations for next year for $350,000.
Wow.
That's great.
Wait, we didn't know. They just tell you how much?
No, we knew, but
Okay.
we were waiting until it hit. Just
Just want to make sure.
Yeah, exactly.
So the money's actually in the.
Totally.
Yeah,
That's great.
yeah.
And then something came up maybe
Oh.
recording.
I thought you were gonna say it.
No.
No, we also completed and submitted today our ADO reporting, which is a big deal.
Can't wait to do it again.
Something.
And then something else that came up this afternoon via email is actually maybe this is more of a governance thing, I'm not sure, but what do you call it? The city of Kingston's,
Financial disclosure
financial disclosure by portal. I guess it's not really ADC, that's one governance, but
or governance thing, I think.
come back to that governance, or not finance, not finance governance. And that's it, we didn't meet, so that's really it for finance. Well,
Thank you. Beautiful job, everybody. Thank you for getting ready to be on.
yes.
Pretty weird.
It is pretty. The system.
Oh, yeah. Paris, is it still Paris?
Yes, it is.
But it's nothing like what you would think.
It's not.
It's not, it's not smoking a cigarette and.
But their systems to say that, it's almost just.
Stands for the PA.
Oh.
And that leaves us to comes,
Oh,
comes.
I don't think we have much to say, but I do want to talk about Friday. How are things going with Julie?
They're
We have like
going, it's
the-
definitely.
the house will be open at 5 o'clock.
The house will be open at 5 o'clock. I wanted to ask Aaron if you can bring your big speaker.
Yeah, certainly.
At a table with a cloth.
Oh, wait, instructions.
Okay, I was trying to get it all.
So food,
Okay.
there is some food ordered.
Okay, cool.
I got a fair amount of things to figure out.
Okay, let me
I'm
know.
not worried.
Do we have the public come?
They've been invited, the newsletter.
So the newsletter went out. I'm gonna start throwing this on Instagram every day, and if I can ask somebody to post it to Facebook, that would be great. And
I can boost everything you post. That's easy.
yeah, we're just gonna like,
Yeah, maybe we also need like a little image that we could send via email,
okay,
Oh, what the house looks like, you mean?
or just like Friday at 5 o'clock, the image of the house, just something that we could embed in an email for invites. But
okay.
I could maybe work with that.
So
Or,
I gave Mike a nice image and I said, should
That was what we used to do.
Yeah.
and stuff.
right, if can you use that, or I could do like a before picture too.
I think I can just.
Whatever, okay,
I
whatever.
thought the image was really nice, I took a look at it. I think it'd be good fun.
Maybe like a little wreath or a little garland to put outside of the house.
I can bring them in.
Something just to
Bring
make everything.
Bring everything.
Just to look so
Put it all
Yeah,
like,
seriously,
like, bonding. So
As
close.
with everything, this for team effort, please bring whatever, no ideas are bad ideas,
When the sun went down, we came by.
et cetera, et cetera. But
Not
yeah,
that I want to be hitting people up for money,
oh, I do,
but I do want to be hitting people up for money.
yeah, so we're thinking,
Will we have like a QR code like we have in the past?
yeah, so I want to have a QR code, basically like a box for cash and. Yeah,
I'd get that.
Yeah.
I'll bring the iPad.
Cool.
okay, and we'll cover. At least.
Yeah.
We still have.
Yeah, but that's not when it comes to the other side.
Okay, would be.
20 toes.
We haven't used that.
How much is that? That's what it is. The account is logged in.
Because you can get rules.
Okay.
How much are the totals?
$20.
What's how much they cost?
They tax deductible
So
donation.
they will be for sale for 30.
Yeah, they
You buy a tote, is that a tax deductible donation
No.
to the land bank? No.
You're receiving something.
Oh, really?
Oh, because you buy.
You could buy the tote for $20 and
You're
then,
receiving a goods,
Oh,
like, so
for an
we
amount.
write a letter saying that you have given, but, cost of it is this, so it's tax deductible above the amount that, what they're getting.
Sure. I mean, we used to sell, give away wine and ask for money at donation, right? So,
Yeah,
so the wine was free, but the donation.
Yeah.
the donation-
that's a good way to, that's a good way to, do it.
With any donation of $25 or more.
You get a tote.
That actually makes sense because then people aren't feeling like, oh my God, I'm spending this much money on a tote.
I mean, I thought it would be a sales thing to do it that way, and then you would sell them for $30.
And ideally people will give for $30 or more. Yeah, makes sense. I'm just saying, it's something that's.
That's a donation, then you get.
That's a good service.
Take that out.
So I gotta.
Oh, I had my green visors.
I don't have any for calls.
okay, cool, thank you. Do you
Or what?
have?
Oh, Daniel and I gave a tour to Alex from RBW of 124 Franklin.
Oh, wow.
Um, it's a land company in Ulster, and it seemed positive. And he's going to talk about it with his team, or one of the options they're looking at.
He's gonna invite us to the sample sales.
Well, I mean, I
He
think,
did mention.
yeah, I mean, in terms of like the fixtures,
I think it's very high-end lighting.
Okay.
Probably that's also, this to be an vote to express interest in parking lots.
Yeah, so they've been around for a while. They recently, like 2 years ago, moved operations to Kingston. They are increasingly interested in being involved in various local initiatives and.
The fancy language.
But both right now. This is $19,000. We'll have to give it to them.
But we are still in a recording.
Oh, sorry.
So I'm gonna send you some language about this, I'm back on the tote. Language about, maybe creating a little sign, just a sign that you print out. It says, 20 totes are available for $100 donation or whatever, right? So really make it a donation and make it's not that they're available, but that they're a gift to the person for the first 20 donations that are of $100 to this party. Or whatever,
I like
something like that, so that we're really pulling money towards them.
Yeah,
And the campaign launch is just for apparel, so the totes aren't part of that campaign, so they can't actually get totes
I
online.
see the opportunity.
Yeah.
Does that seem weird?
I think that's a nice idea.
I'll just say we only have 10 totes. I know Joanne, you had booked it for 20 and I bought 10 because they were $20 each.
Okay. We have 10 totes.
We could buy more. But.
I just think
But
it'd
we-
be
Well, that's
special.
$1,000 right
Yeah.
there. Except Dave
Now that I
just
know
took
we
on
can make money.
$100.
Oh, and that one. Oh, good.
But if there's only 10, then there's an exclusivity to them, if they're not available online right now. Be the first in Kingston to have a Kingston City Land Bank. And contribute, with your tax deductible donation of blah, 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 whatever it is. And then we just keep that as a cost, right? Somehow vary that check and costs somewhere.
Well, we already purchased it, so it's a cost to us.
I like it.
And then if we don't sell them, then we just sell them for what, you know what I mean? But,
Right.
so
Cool.
I know I'm gonna end up going down the street, Broderick, I'm sure, what is?
I'm wearing a big QR code.
They're gonna give it.
They're just gonna be back to us.
But it seemed
Nice. Stand up guy. Okay, governance.
We're meeting this week.
Governance is.
We have some things to discuss.
we have so many.
We do.
I have a question.
I have a question,
Great, okay. Design committee, didn't meet, and I think covered where we are with Legacy Cities 2, and we basically talked about the website. Did everybody get a link to preview the site, or?
Send it to the list, I think it's just design committee and comms, but that's almost everyone, but not everyone.
We can share it.
Yeah. Oh, sure.
Or we can make. Who's not on this?
I don't think Ethel is. I'm sorry, I think it might just. Probably should have sent it to everyone.
Who's in charge of the Zoom?
You should be able to share anyone, if you join
Yeah,
the Zoom, and it's the one that's in the calendar. It'll be in like-
I know, Zoom had to install updates, of course.
Recording in progress.
You gotta click it, like,
Sorry. So we have been working diligently with Katie. She now has our site map. We shared part of the photos with her.
she's still waiting on more photos from us?
No, after Martin and I met, I had a couple of homework assignments as well.
Okay, awesome. So now it's just all in her court. Awesome. Okay, so here is the current draft. It's not live yet, but the current draft of the site. So our home will look like this. This was the fun tagline we ended up going with, so open other service suggestions. This is like a carousel here. With 2 different photos, and we can change this text. These are the 3 like main links that will appear on the homepage. Then there'll be this section with this brief summary of this. I'll show you more of these links, but I'll just go through the homepage first so you guys can see it. And then the latest news section. And then we'll have like our Instagram updates, and it'll show the most recent 8 posts on here. So then in each of these sections, we've got about us. I'll just skim through this so you guys can all see. It's our mission statement. A lot of this stuff came from our old website, is just reformatting it. So we got this really cool infographic about what we do, recognize some of this stuff. Actually, our mission, this goes to the same page. I'll talk to Katie about that.
I think this is, these are all, like as you scroll down,
Oh, I see.
as you scroll down, it goes through each of them.
Yeah, that's confusing. I'll talk to her about that. I think this about us should not be in the drop down. It should just be up here. But- And then our team, got our lovely staff. All of our board members with photos, TBD. Committees.
Are they doing bios or
Oh,
not?
we need to update this too with Bob.
Did the bios come up like if you hover? No.
Oh.
Oh,
Look
they
at that. Beautiful. I actually didn't know that it did that.
I was gonna send your emoji.
That's
So-
what we all put.
Change the, titles.
Oh yeah, we'll change the titles, and if anybody has if anybody wants to take a look at your bio and like if you have any updates to it, let us know.
Is there a logic to your order?
To the order for board,
Well, yeah,
I don't know, Katie put it in this order, so we can rearrange it however we want.
just in a world of sensitivities, I would just establish an idea. Like, you
Yeah, I
know, like
probably wouldn't have like as. I
put
wouldn't
the,
have
put the
it
mayor and
first.
then put the board chair and then put everybody else in alphabetical order.
I think it was, yeah, it was almost.
Yeah,
I mean, it won't matter until it matters.
we could do that.
Just something to think about.
Press,
I mean, I know that, I mean, my sense is that we've reached our, the end of the parking meter on this relationship with the designer, and we want to make as few changes at this point as we can. Is that where we're at?
yeah, well, sort of, I mean, this is sort of a almost final draft, I think, of the website, so if we have any like major structural changes that we want Katie to make, now's the time to take a look and see if we have any major changes. But for little changes, you know, we're gonna have the keys to the website, so we can make
Yeah,
those kinds of adjustments.
so I'll just
as we
shut
go
up.
along.
As I'm-
No, it's a good, it's a good comment. So this page in press is meant to be like external press, not our press releases, so it's got all of these articles.
Is this where the award would go?
If there's a press release from the Preservation Society or like a news article, it would go in here. If it's a press release that
From
we
us.
wrote, then it goes somewhere else. I think it goes in news. So then we have this reporting section with like all the legal things we're required to do. That's all here and much better organized. This is great. I actually haven't had a chance to look at this yet. This is great. So then we have this purchasing home section. Again, sort of goes through how it works. FAQs, the register now, which takes you to our like Google Doc form for people to sign up. And then available properties will link to
there's nothing in here now, it should be in here, but we'll update that. This is sort of tied to the next section, so in our properties, it now has these categories, so anything that, there should be another category, I think, for like, available. For
sale.
registration,
Yeah.
I guess for sale, is that what we landed on? I thought we talked about something else.
I think when Bartek and I were on the phone, this is how, maybe it was my thought for these.
There was, yeah, sorry to interrupt, there was one that was like RFP, but then we were like, no one knows what that means, and it should just be for sale.
For sale, okay, so anything that's designated for sale should carry over to the available properties page as well. Like this should link to the same thing as when I do this.
Found.
But in short, you can filter all our properties by these categories, and then each property has its own page. So if I go to this one, it has the categories listed in here. We'll have some photos, again, all the legal stuff that we have to include, and then it'll be
Hot air.
Just closed the pathway one property, there's some updating to the text. but-
Yeah. But that kind of updating to the text, we can do.
Yeah. Once it's.
Definitely have centralized service.
I like that it has heat in this thing.
Yeah.
In the summer.
So this is, and these property pages are also where we should be able to put in, like, if we do video tours of the properties, or, you know, anything that's specific to that particular property will go in this property page.
The homes that are up for the lottery, how are those being designated on the site?
So they should be designated as for sale, but we should think about,
I would
I
say
think pending sale.
pending sale is where I would think it would be, because they're no longer offered for sale, was the thinking. I had sent Katie a list of like, these are the categories, so that's on me. if
I'm
you
just
want
curious,
to.
before the lottery closed.
Before the
how
lottery
would we use it for
They
sale?
would be for sale.
Because then you have, let's say, you have 111 Downs also, like,
Yep.
it's
Yeah.
confusing.
Yep.
Because people will look and think they can buy the property,
Yeah,
Yeah.
they can't.
yeah, we may need to split that category.
It's almost like it needs to be two separate.
we go back to the RFP.
Not necessarily RFP, but like
Maybe it's just like for sale.
applications open
For sale.
versus.
Well, just like for a lot, like, I think, because people are hearing like, there's lottery, what homes are available, and then they're going and they're seeing homes that are for sale, but they wouldn't necessarily make the connection that that's for the lottery. And then just in terms of like, just being very clear about like, this is exactly what you are applying for.
Is there a way even under for sale? Maybe that's the one item where it's.
Which subcategory?
Yeah, well, even if it's not something on the left, like on the left panel, even on the page, it could be almost like two sections. There's like lottery homes and then RFP. It could be, yeah, some kind of separation.
Okay, well,
I mean, there might be.
these are all super.
Katie might have other ideas for it.
Or if you have to reformat, you could put under where it says pre-development, under the picture, you could put, for sale, available by lottery. And then that could click to the application, maybe, but then you don't have to reformat, though I like the side-by-side idea, actually, but I just don't know how much
Yeah.
change we ended up in the design. So it
Yes,
would be
like
just,
for public sale, like to public rather than for sale by lottery.
But by sale by lottery, yeah.
Yeah, we'll make it.
Because also there's no prices under the homes necessarily. I mean, there is there.
yeah.
It's not realistic.
But if I went to for sale and it said somewhere lottery, then that would drive me towards the lottery.
I mean, you could have a
Toward
link to
understanding the
the
lottery, which I think would
lottery
be a
right there under
positive
the house.
thing.
Yeah, that's the idea, is that anything that's available in the lottery, we can also add a link to like the registration page to actually sign up if people are interested. But no, this is good feedback, so we may need to split this one into like two subcategories. Oh no, we still have the overall map here at the bottom, that shows where all the properties are. We're getting involved, we've got these two links.
I guess a good time to note that we're gonna need more board members.
Yes, we will.
Yeah.
So for whoever's watching this recording, here is where the join our board link will be, as well as the donate link. So
Like
this will
Venmo.
go. So here for news, these are our internal press releases. So all the things that we are putting out there, like Mike's great end of the year summary.
Thank you.
Anybody read that?
Yeah.
How did you guys leave it with Katie on like this calendar?
We kind of muddled through it, to be honest with you, because we kind of accepted it, because they have to be, like, if you have an event that you also want to put on the calendar, you have to do it twice. And so I was like doing you a calendar, but
I'm the one who's probably going to be updating it, and I had asked Katie to leave the events page up there so that she obviously has put that event up there, but so that it's annoying to me, so I populated with past events that we've had as another opportunity to like publicize what we've done, and
Just so it looks more full.
it's more full.
Okay, but this event is meant to be like public events, right? Like ribbon cuttings, open house, whereas the calendar will show like our board meeting. That won't necessarily be on the event.
Correct.
You might, under news and events, I wondered if
Merge
you
link.
wanted to add a archive of newsletters.
Sure, I think we should.
And then that will also provide, if anyone ever wants to
I
work
think that
backwards.
will be in here.
they-
So in the news page, like our email newsletters?
Yeah.
Those track the same as this?
Yeah. I mean,
Like,
I'm not sure how to pull those out, but
are they not public, the newsletters?
they are, they're distributed to everyone, but I mean,
when you send it, it creates a link.
smart, okay. I didn't know that, I guess we can link to it, we can go
Yeah.
back to our newsletter links.
And also ask people if they want to join, like sign up for the newsletter somewhere here, right?
Yeah, I guess my question is what goes in the newsletter different than what
No.
we put in this news section?
I don't know.
Okay, so anything that is in this section will have been in the newsletter.
Yes.
So there will be an archive in here going back to anything that's gone out in the newsletter. Okay.
Just, file it once and forget about it, is my theory.
Yeah. I'll make sure that I'll tell Katie about the merge link.
It's on our current website near like donate,
Didn't donate, I didn't know where else to put it.
so I don't know if that helps.
I'll think about a good place for that, because I don't know if getting involved
Okay.
is
Yeah.
contact. And then at the bottom, we've got, these are where like RFPs and things like that will go. But if you have any comments, I think we emailed out the link with the password to look at this draft website, so feel free to play around with it.
Look on different devices too.
Oh, does it?
No,
Oh,
look at different
yeah.
devices, just.
Look at it on mobile too.
Does it have where to join, I didn't see somewhere on the bottom of how you can join up the Instagram or whatever, is it?
Yeah, so there's a link to the Instagram here, as
Okay.
well as our Facebook page.
I'm not cool,
There's email here for mailing list.
I don't like that.
But yeah, I know this is a lot, but feel free, everybody should have the link to it now, so feel free to like play around with it. And if you have any notes to add, again, like any little things like text, we can probably do that, but it's still good to have them. So if you want to send them to me, I can collate everything, and then if we can get back to Katie with any new updates. that'd be
Let's
great.
try to give her something like a deadline, Wednesday or Thursday of this week or something.
Yeah,
Keep it moving.
Website is never done.
Yeah.
Like housework, it's never really done.
Thank you so much.
it's a team effort, so we work.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think we're almost done. Okay. That concludes design committee. Design chair, that concludes, public comment, no more members. New business, I will just note, so in the January board meeting, our new chair Nate will appoint committee members, so think about if you like the committees you've been on, if you want to change, if you want to just think about it. At the first committee meeting of the year is when the committees will elect their committee chairs. And lastly, if you'll just give me a second, I can't believe, 5 years. It's been a ride, and I'm really proud of us, really proud of all of you. This has been an honor and a privilege, and, you know, this is an organization that has done really hard things and done them really well. And so as you move forward, keep doing good things. You're gonna be great. I'll miss it. I'll still be here. And I'm gonna stop talking. I did not expect to start crying. But yeah, just very privileged to have been able to serve all of you. Thanks for having me. Even as provided.
Gonna sure you with your gavel.
Yeah, you gotta get with me.
Yeah, right.
You have one more vote to call.
Yeah.
Oh, right. And I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor? Motion
Gavel.
passes. Thanks, everybody.
Hold up.